Hi, I'm Coltmcdermott, and this is my LA 478K parametric design and landscape computing project. I decided to explore terrain modeling and more specifically cut and fill calculations within processing. So to jump right in, I got into 3D and created this cube that was based off of texture and vertex faces. The vertex faces are shown here, so there are 6. Each vertex has 4, or each face has 4 different vertex points that set it up. It also rotates based on its origin, so it's all set up from origin and scale. So if I want to change the scale of the whole thing, it'll just change the numbers here and realign them. It's also set up on mouse dragged so that when I click and hold and drag, it'll move around, and then when I let up, it changes. The next step I took was color coding each face so that you could orient yourself with where you are when you move the terrain around. From there, I wanted to add another face that I can move up and down the z-axis. So I still have my cube, which I changed the transparency of each so you can see this new face. The new face in my code is set up right here, so it's under begin shape. The z-axis is set to these different letters, which are global variables up here that are set to 0. Down here I have them set so that when they are clicked, there are either plus or minus 5 along the z-axis. So if I click on A, it'll go down, and if I shift, say B, that'll move up, and D, and C, and so on. So now it creates this different unique surface within the cube. As I got further along, I decided I wanted to put multiple faces together so that I could calculate a terrain surface with different interpolated topographic points and have them set up together so that when I click on this point, it'll move both faces either up or down. So now they interact and work together. How I did that was creating each of those and calling each letter and then making sure that each of their faces correlate between each other when they have matching points. The stage I'm at now, I have set up a 15 cell grid here. It's 3 by 5. When I move each of these faces, they will work together and create whatever surface I want to figure out. I also added a new beginning surface so you can tell where you started and where you finished, and that will help me in the future calculate the cut and fill ratios based upon the borrow pit method. So it'll calculate as I go. Hopefully in the print line it'll show my cut and fill in correlation with where I'm moving points and how it's working. So right now I have this set up and pretty much all hard coded. I also have a grid here that shows you where you are and what face you're working with, so it's a little bit more easy to understand. In the future, I'm hoping to set up the borrow pit method and have the print line show the cut and fill ratios, as well as add a grid to each cell so that you know exactly where you are, because now that I have so many faces, it's a little bit hard to tell and orient yourself unless you're in section. So that's where I'm at right now, and thanks for taking a look.